We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals.
That was Donald Trump talking about violent criminal gangs coming from Mexico across the US border. But naturally, this was parlayed into him talking about all illegal immigrants not being people, they're animals, which just wasn't true. He was specifically asked about the gang MS-13, which is actually what the BBC actually had to print about it, because that's the truth of it. But this story, of course, went viral last year, and obviously it's just people going, oh, he's calling undocumented immigrants animals, they're not even people to him, look what a monster he is. No, right? MS-13 are fucking awful, right? Their motto is kill, rape, control. This has been called the most dangerous gang in the world. They're interested in awful, awful things. They do terrible things. I'll leave links in the description if you want to read about it, but it's just, they are just the word. They are like ISIS, just like ISIS, but for different reasons, obviously, right? But obviously this was totally misrepresented by the leftists, and they went crazy with it. They've decided, oh, Donald Trump's an evil xenophobe who just hates immigrants, blah, 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 blah. No, there are legitimate security concerns for regular people because of this gang, and Donald Trump is actually addressing it. But they won't hear of it. They'll pretend that either MS-13 don't even exist or aren't a problem, or that Donald Trump's talking about all immigrants. So Donald Trump has just done the most amazing 4D chess I've seen on this, and said, right, well, due to the fact that Democrats are unwilling to change our very dangerous immigration laws, we are indeed, as reported, giving strong considerations to placing illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities only. The radical left always seem to be happy to have open borders, open arms policy, so this should make them very happy. And just bravo. Bra-fucking-vo. That is amazing. That puts them in a position that is fucking unwinnable for them. They have nothing they can do about this, because now they're sat there going, well, wait a minute, hang on a second. That's sick and twisted. How dare you put illegal immigrants in our sanctuary cities? How dare you do this? You're not allowed to do this. This is a bad thing. Is it? Is it really? But it's not a bad thing when these illegal immigrants live somewhere that you're not. Is that what we're saying? Really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think, wow, they're actually full of shit. They're lying to themselves, or maybe even not, but definitely lying to you. They know that there are problems with illegal immigrants. They know because you don't know who they are. They could be people fleeing for a better life, or they could be brutal gang members. You just don't know because you can't check them. You don't know who they are. They're unregulated. Immigration must be regulated. Obviously, I mean, only a lunatic would suggest that they can't. Only a lunatic or a zealot would suggest that. But I love some of these responses. This is, I mean, like, this is just Trump talking, just talking, obviously, right? And I love that this came from Stephen Miller as well, the Jewish white supremacist who's just frankly cleverer than they are. ICE called the proposal inappropriate and argued that it could present public relations problems. Sure, it will. It undoubtedly will. But to be fair, they already hate you. I mean, they want to disband ICE. They don't want border controls. They don't want people to come and find illegal immigrants and remove them from the country. They're for illegal immigrants being in the country. They don't think the borders are legitimate. So it doesn't really matter what ICE thinks on the subject. But I love this. Alyssa Milano. This is so sick and twisted. Why? I thought immigrants was great. I thought sex with immigrants was jasmine scented. I thought like everything was hunky dory with immigrants. What's the problem? They're good for everyone. They're very progressive, you see. White House proposed releasing immigrant detainees in sanctuary cities, targeting political foes. What do you mean? Targeting them with what? Peace and love? How are you targeting them? I thought immigrants were great. Illegal immigration is not a problem at all. 11 million illegal immigrants, not a problem whatsoever. Not a problem. Then what's your concern? Eh? The cruelty of this administration never seems to end, says Julian Castro. Wow, that seems really xenophobic. It's probably pretty racist as well. I mean, how can you suggest that there is no reason to send the illegal immigrants who are detained at the border to sanctuary cities. Surely, and I love it, as part of retaliation against the Democrats. Well, that could only be retaliation if illegal immigrants were a bad thing in and of themselves, Mr. Castro and CNN. Surely, if illegal immigrants were nothing but sunshine and roses, you should be saying, well, thank you very much, we'll take all of the illegal immigrants. Obviously, where else would we want them to go? We don't want them to go to an evil Republican city. Those evil Republicans will treat them badly. They have to come to our sanctuary cities. You should be demanding this if you actually believe your own rhetoric on illegal immigration. You should be demanding it, but you're not, because you don't believe it, because you know you're fucking lying. You know that there are significant problems with this. It's just you live in your gated communities, in your bloody high-rises, and you're not subject to the problems. It's other people who don't get to appear on CNN that get this. People who work regular jobs and who scrape to get by. They're the ones who are being competed against. They're the ones being victimized. You don't care about those people. Those people are fucking Trump voters, aren't they? Evil, evil white men Trump voting piece of bigot shit. You know what you think of them. We know what you think of them. You say it all the time. And suddenly, when Trump's like, well, okay, you can have the illegal immigrants because you love them. This is retaliation against the Democrats. Oh, Crimea River. Crimea River. The Democrats are becoming increasingly radical at this point, and they're, no borders at all is a really popular position among Democrats these days. We love illegal immigrants. Bring them all in. Well, wait a minute. Don't send them to us. We just love the idea of them being here in potential, just like somewhere else where we're not subject to the problems that they bring. CNN's Jeff Toobin took things a step further, claiming Trump was using people like pestilence to spread around the country. What on earth are you doing describing illegal immigrants as pestilence? Do you not understand how unbelievable that is for you to say when you've been arguing in favour of illegal immigration? Are you in favour of pestilence coming into the country generally? You're just against it coming to your places, aren't you? As always, what a surprise. What's more cynical than vilifying illegal immigrants as criminals? Deliberately busing them into democratic cities and districts in the hope of them causing trouble. Well, look, we know that they won't cause trouble. You've told us that more than enough times. So why don't you want them? I thought they were just a net positive, and not even a net, just a complete positive. There is no negative, no downside to illegal immigration, surely. So why wouldn't you want them? Why not? What's the problem? You can't possibly argue against this. You're in favour of taking illegal immigrants, dumbasses. So you should be in favour of taking illegal immigrants into your own sanctuary cities. I mean, that's why you created sanctuary cities in the first place, to protect the illegal immigrants that had moved there, so they don't get deported. You are in favour of this. What is your problem? How can you argue about it? The president is literally using human beings as pawns in a political game. So are you. Your pro-illegal immigration stance is you using people as pawns in a fucking political game. What on earth do you think you are doing with your politics? You're full of shit. I fucking hate it. It's so transparently full of shit. It's unbelievable. Like, there's rightful outrage at the cruel plan to send illegal immigrant detainees to somehow attack Trump's political opponents. How are they in so-called sanctuary cities? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. How is it a cruel plan? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's rather woke to say that it's a cruel plan to send illegal immigrants to Democrat-run cities like that. I mean, it's very woke. I guess you could say that, judging by the state of many Democrat-run cities. I mean, how's San Francisco doing these days? And we'll not even get into, like, Detroit and Chicago. So, like, we'll just assume that that's, that's what you're saying. It's not the fact that you think it's going to be cruel on you to have to live with these people. It's the way you run these cities is cruel on them. Right, okay, got it. It's not that you're afraid. It's not that. It's not that you know that you're full of shit. It's that you run cities in a really bad way, and it's not fair to send the immigrants to your cities. Got it. Fucking got it. Power corrupts, and absolute power results in dangerously harebrained schemes like this one. Man, you guys are afraid of having these immigrants come to you, aren't you? You are unbelievably afraid, in which people fleeing violence are cynically used as political pawns. What's harebrained about it? Surely the sanctuary cities are where these people need to be. And unsurprisingly, the Conservatives are well aware of what's going on. They know They're not stupid. They can see precisely what the problem is here. And so can Donald Trump. If the radical left Democrats, which they are, all of a sudden don't want the illegal migrants in their sanctuary cities, no more open arms, why should others be expected to take them into their communities? Go home, come into our country legally, and through a system of merit. Unbelievably good. Unbelievably good 4D chess from Donald Trump. That is an absolute striking win. That is so good. He could not have played this better. This was an absolute blinder. The God Emperor checkmated the entire radical Democrat wing. The radical wing of... Not because, there are Democrats... Some, a minority of Democrats who are more centrist now, who aren't just for open borders. That's lunacy. That's the end of your country. Like, Tulsi Gabbard-style Democrats who are like, no, obviously we need a country, we need secure borders, obviously. We're not idiots, But then the radical left are like, no Trump, no wall, no USA at all. Like, these people, what's your complaint? What is your complaint? Trump absolutely smashed them. Absolutely smashed them. And once again, it just gives further legitimacy to his point about a border wall. There is absolutely nothing wrong with building a wall on the border. There is no moral conundrum there at all. There's no dilemma. If you are a country and you want to put a wall up on one of your borders, you are totally entitled to do that. And there is no way of complaining other than people saying, well, hey, we were going to break the law and just walk across that space that wasn't walled up, and now we can't break the law. We object to the fact that you're preventing us from breaking your laws. That's not fair. That's somehow racist and xenophobic. Get fucked. Donald Trump has won this hands down in an absolutely brilliant way, and Stephen Miller, really, I should say, has won this. And bravo. Again, just keep on winning, Mr. Trump. Just keep on winning.